When you go to the store to buy a new pair of shoes, are you complaining when the price is down, when there's a discount on those shoes? Or are you happy? Do you buy the shoes because you know the discount only lasts for a few days? Well, that's how you should be putting things in perspective with this pullback, this much needed pullback with silver. Right now, prices are sitting at $48.69. Some people are worried. Those people shouldn't be investing into silver anyways, because that means they don't understand silver's true value. They bought in during all the hype just because everyone told them so, not understanding what gives silver value or why it has potential, and they're probably going to sell low. Most people buy high, sell low. They do the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do. It's supposed to be buy low, sell high. Buy the dips. Sell the tops if you want. That's what a lot of people did. They sold at 54. They're not about these same people though are not panicking when the price drops. They're just capitalizing. Some people, actually the majority of people, if you want me to be completely honest, most people lose money stacking silver. Very few people have strong hands. Most people have weak hands, and that's because they get in just because a friend or a family member told them so, or they saw something online. They get in, a lot of times not understanding what they're buying, so their dollar per ounce average is extremely high. So even if they end up selling in a few months, one, silver's price hasn't had time to appreciate, and they're usually selling at a loss because they overpaid for that silver coin anyways. So you got to be careful, folks. That's what really worries me when there's, when times are very exciting for silver like this, or the Wall Street silver movement in February of 2021, because all these new people are buying, all these new eyes, but if they don't truly understand what gives silver value, as soon as the price drops, they get scared. True silver stackers like, yes, it's on sale. I can buy it for cheaper, lower my dollar per ounce average because I know it's going to go back up. It's not just going to break, 45. It's not just going to break out of a 45-year cup and handle, hit all-time highs, and just not do it again and just stay down. That's the correction. We needed this. I kept saying that this looked very, very scary for a second. I kept saying, and a lot of people didn't think that it would happen. I kept saying, we need a pullback. We need a correction. These candlesticks are way too high. This is extreme overbought territory. In my last video, I said this looks like something that crypto would do, like a Bitcoin move. We needed it to pull back a little bit so prices can stay higher. Believe it or not, this is actually a good thing for silver, because if not, there's no price stability, and it's just going to keep going up, 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 and then it goes down, down, down. See, people need to understand this. You got to understand this. And if you don't watch channels like mine or anything, then you're not going to. And you're just going to sell right now because you're like, oh man, it's already down 5%. What if it keeps going down? I better sell right now. That was a mistake. And then they go get into something else. And then silver goes back up in a couple months or whatever. And then you're like, oh man, why did I sell low? I should have just held on to it. That's the repeating cycle of most people. They buy low, sell high. They buy high, sell low. And these same people will be kicking themselves in the butt, wishing they could go back and pay not only $48 for an ounce, but also $54 for an ounce. So, first and foremost, welcome. Thank you for tuning into your daily silver news. My name is Silver Slayer, and if you want the latest information on what's happening across the globe and how that affects the price of precious metals, most specifically silver, make sure you click subscribe and click the bell. I'm doing a giveaway in less than 2 weeks, so you don't want to miss out on that. I post 2 times a day, noon and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. I took a day off yesterday, a much needed day off, making daily YouTube videos for 10 years. It can be a lot, and luckily I'm in a position where if I don't feel like working, I don't have to. I have no boss. I am my own boss, even though I work harder than, most people would anyways, even though, I don't have to technically, but we're gonna talk about what's happening with silver right now. We're gonna go into why silver fell and my opinion on if it's going to continue to fall or is this the bottom. So yeah, make sure you subscribe, click the bell if you want to buy some of this shiny stuff on sale. Buy from Miles Franklin. Not only is silver on sale, we also have gold, silver, and platinum specials. So it's a discount on top of a discount. Take advantage of that. Send an email to info@milesfranklin.com. Let them know Slayer sent you. So I have an interview with David Morgan in 2 days. So stay tuned for that as well. The silver guru himself, the man that really, opened my eyes to silver's true value. So precious metals fall, silver plunges 5%. So prices of precious metals declined on Tuesday, with silver plummeting over 5% and retreating from its all-time high of $54.47 per ounce, pressured by easing trade tensions. Here we go. Namely, U.S. President Donald Trump shared the day before that he expects to reach a very fair trade deal between Washington and Beijing during a meeting with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping in the Asian Pacific Economic Cooperation, or APEC, summit in South Korea at the end of the month. Silver plummeted 5.19% to go for $49.63 an ounce, while gold dropped 2.25% to $42.58. And it actually dropped more than that, so it was $49.63 and now it is 48, let me see, $48.69, so more than 5%. And I just want to mention real quick, I'm going to do a separate video of this, but silver isn't $48.69 right now. It's averaging over $80 in China. That's going to be a separate video because if I covered that article as well in this video would be like 30 minutes long. But I just want to give a very quick price update video real quick, and then I'll go into some of the more in-depth stuff. So stay tuned for that as well. So this is from FX Empire. Silver dropped significantly early on Tuesday. Silver market continues to see a lot of movement, with silver dropping roughly 5% by the time New York woke up. At this point, silver continues to be in focus, which often isn't a good thing, eventually. Silver technical analysis. It looks like silver's plunging early on Tuesday morning. And the dangerous thing about silver is it's a much smaller market than gold. So when people start panicking or, panic selling or money comes out, it affects the price much more dramatically. Like I call silver gold on steroids. Because it's a more exaggerated, more dramatic version. It hits higher highs, but steroids have negative side effects. Hits lower lows. If gold's going to rise 10%, silver's going to rise 15%. But if gold's going to drop 10%, silver's going to drop 15%. It's more volatile, more risky, and that's also why I get worried when people enter the silver market and have weak hands or don't understand why they're buying it. They're going to probably get burnt. So take advantage. Don't freak out right now. This was supposed to happen. I was calling this to happen for a while. I was surprised it just kept breaking record after record. I was like, this gotta slow down at some point, or it won't recover. It will crash and it won't recover, like Bitcoin in 2017, right? It went up from $800 to $16,000, and it went up so fast that it crashed and took years upon years upon years to recover. If it would have been, a steady growth, prices stabilizing higher and lower and higher, it wouldn't have took years to recover, because now we're getting some price stability. Prices are sitting around there. It's a very good thing, believe it or not. I always say a correction is the correct thing for it to do. So he imagines that the spot market's probably still a little bit above 50, but really at this point, I think we're getting close to the beginning of the end. I don't know how far we will drop. Yeah, I think that too. He says he thinks this is getting close to the bottom, and the bottom of this free fall. You could possibly call it. So I don't know how far we will drop. It really wouldn't surprise me to see this market break back above 50 in the futures contracts by the end of the day. Both are very possible. Yeah, and it's 48.69, so Who knows? The rest of the week, and this is the other thing. You see how prices were so affected by Trump announcing that they're coming to terms with a trade deal with Beijing. So many different things affect the price of silver to very large percentages, you see. Think of how many things happen in a week or in a month, and how many different things in the next couple of days, let alone the next couple of weeks, that are going to also affect the price. Trump coming out and saying this, right? Federal Chairman Jerome Powell coming out and saying that. Then you have this and that, and there's so many things that are happening. Most of them, or almost all of them, are bullish for silver, but you can just see how speculation still has a big pull in the price. I hate that S word. Regardless if people perceive Trump's tweet as good or bad, or good news or bad news, it should be irrelevant. Silver should be going off of fundamentals, the supply and demand, not speculation. Leave that up to crypto, something that doesn't have intrinsic value. So to the upside, if we capture 50 and short-term traders can continue, I imagine to look short-term dips as potential buying opportunities. But when everybody runs for exits in this market, it's going to be massive. I'm starting to see everybody talking about silver. Everybody's a silver expert all of a sudden. Even random people that I run into on the street now. Not a good sign. Yeah. That's dangerous. I could call myself a silver expert, honestly. Like, I'm a very humble person. Very humble, honestly. But I've been doing this long enough where I truly believe that I know just as much as the next silver expert. I do just as much research. I've been in this market just as long, maybe not as long as people like David Morgan, or Andy Scheckman. I'm not saying I know as much as those guys, and that's why it's such an honor when I get to speak to them. But these guys writing these articles, a lot of times I know more than them. And that's not even the point. The point of my channel is that I'm able to break it down in a way for the everyday person to be able to consume it. A lot of these guys, they forget that a lot of us are new stackers or even experienced stackers. These people that have been stacking for years, they don't do the type of research that they do, and they forget that you got to break things down in layman's terms sometimes. Yes, it sounds very professional if you use big words, but if you don't explain to the person what that means or how it affects you lose the audience. And a lot of people aren't very passionate about it. This is their job. They got hired in to write these articles. Me, I do this because I'm passionate about it, because I love doing it, because I love helping people, and there's a big difference. So, yeah. Yeah. I accidentally became a silver expert. It's not like I went to school for this. I love coins. It's my passion. It's my hobby. If you saw the video I posted the other day showing off all my most rare sentimental coins and bars, you would see that a lot of my stuff goes back years upon years upon years, and there's some very cool and very crazy stories with some of the silver that I own. That's just experience. You can't just learn that on the spot. That takes, time to, happen. And your stack is going to change. The types of silver you'll like is going to change over time. I'm starting to get a little off topic, but right now, silver sitting at 48.69. Just wanted to give a quick price update. Stay tuned. I got some other stuff to talk about as well. Some of the bigger things happening behind the scenes, especially over, in the Shanghai, and what we should be paying attention to beyond just what the price is doing at this exact moment in time. I'm going to wrap this video up here. Make sure to subscribe, click the bell. Do not miss my giveaway. I post 2 times a day. I love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I will see you guys later today or tomorrow. Peace.